Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Cleary, and I am a program manager here at Magic. And I'm very excited because today I have with me one of our lovely mentor-mentee pairs from Marymount School. And I'm just very excited to be chatting with them about their Magic session. Let's start off by having everyone introduce themselves. Alba, if you want to kick us off.
Hi, my name's Alba V. I'm 15. I'm in 10th grade and I go to Marymount School of New York. And yeah, my project was on Fogo Selvagem.
Wonderful. Courtney, if you could introduce yourself as well.
Hi, I'm Kourtney Sprague. I'm a first-time mentor with Magic, and I'm located in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Wonderful. And Alba, can you just tell us a little bit about your project and what made you choose that as your area of focus?
So my project is a research project on Fogo Selvagem.
Hmm.
It's an endemic form of Pemphigus flakeus.
Hmm.
And I chose it because I'm Brazilian and my Fogo Selvagem is like predominant in Brazil, like it was originated in Brazil. Um and it kind of like revolves around the fact of like Brazil's like climate and like how like their rural areas are.
Hmm.
So I chose specifically Fogo Selvagem because it has to do with Brazil, and I also chose it because I want to be a dermatologist in the future. And Fogo Selvagem is a skin disease, so being able to research it and learn more about it has been able to make me like learn more about like skin diseases and like how the skin works and the body works surrounding it.
Wonderful that you felt a personal connection to um, this project, and so you decided to have that be your area of focus. Um, and so, is there anything interesting that you learned in your research?
I definitely found the fact that like it depends on people's like living situations and like the way their houses are, like if their roofs are like thatched, or if like their area, like their houses aren't as like clean, like how that can factor into them getting fogo selvagem, and how it's not just like about like their bodies, but it's also about like their environmental situation, and how certain areas have a higher risk of getting it um like based on like their housing situations and their like environment.
Mhm. And you shared that you are interested in becoming a dermatologist when you're older, which is wonderful. So after, having a specific area of focus, do you think that as you continue your studies, you will want to only focus on FS, or will you want to kind of expand your knowledge to other areas of dermatology as well?
I think I definitely want to expand my area so I can learn more about like skin diseases as a whole, or just like skin as a whole. But I definitely feel like FS would like be one of my like main like interests, considering the fact that it's not only related to skin but also related to like my heritage, or like not just FS but like other like Brazilian skin diseases. Like I feel like that would make like I'd be more interested in those, considering like my relation. But I definitely in the future want to like research different types of skin diseases, not just like FS or Brazilian skin diseases.
That's wonderful. And something that is very special about your magic session, for the both of you, is that you wrote an article that was just recently published. So can both of you speak on how that opportunity arose, maybe some of the work that went into it? And did you kind of have to add that into your timeline, or was it something you were planning for all along, etc.?
I definitely feel like at the beginning of like my uh what's it called? Beginning of my journey with magic,
Hmm.
I wanted to like I wanted to like write something so that not only would I like educate myself but also educate others. But I guess I never really fully thought about writing like a full article until like later on in my project,
Hmm.
until like there was like a month left of my journey. Like more decided that I was like wanting to write an article so that other people like in my community or like people in Brazil like they can learn more about FS and not just me and my personal like studies.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wonderful. So it sounds like it was your initial idea to write an article. Is that correct?
Yeah, like I kind of like well, Courtney also like she suggested it too. Like I definitely would like I wasn't like, oh, I want to write an article. I kind of just like I thought of it and like
Mm-hmm.
kind of just like built from that.
No, and I think that's so something that's so unique to Magic and the mentor-mentee partnerships that it really is a collaboration. And so it's not just one person in the partnership saying, "Oh, we should do this, this, and this," but really it's both of you bouncing your ideas off of one another and maybe expanding an original thought. So Kourtney, can you touch on just, whether it is the article itself and maybe expanding on that or just, different parts of the project where you found you two really collaborating to expand the initial ideas of the research?
Yeah, for sure. So I think when we first started out, I was definitely nervous because I knew that Alba wanted to be a dermatologist. So she was probably going to want to focus on something skin related. And I don't do any work with the skin. I mean, I have a heavy background in biology, but like different regions of biology are obviously very different. And so I was nervous, but she had this very clear idea of like what she wanted to do. She's like, I want to look at FS. And so it was kind of like, okay, like, how do we figure this out? And so it was nice, like first starting with journal clubs because we both got to learn together about this disease. And it was really fun. And then it was kind of like, okay, well, maybe we should do some type of like summarizing. And then she really just like ran with the bio render stuff. Like once I showed her how to use the site with generating images, and she did a lot of that like pretty much on her own. Like she would ask me questions if she needed to, or like help with certain things or like ideas. But really, like we went over like the outline of the article, like what it all should include, and then she kind of just like filled in all the gaps. And so really, it was like definitely a very good collaboration. But I feel like Alba really drove this project herself, which was really cool, and I just got to help her along the way. So it was awesome.
That's great. And so it sounds like you just both really enjoyed working with one another and the fact that although you shared you're 15, you're a sophomore, you're already a published author, you already have a scientific article published. That's amazing. And so um both of you should just be so proud of yourselves. um just a few more questions. But Kourtney, you mentioned that you're a first-time Magic mentor. So can you just tell us just very briefly, how did you hear about Magic? What drew you to wanting to be a mentor?
Yeah, so actually one of the postdocs in my lab, Namrata Root, she is actually a mentor as well. So I've heard about magic since I've been in my lab. Namrata speaks like nothing but really amazing things about magic and how much she loves it. And I think I was interested in doing magic because, when I was in high school, I don't think I didn't know how much I love science because I just didn't get to spend that much time into it, like in the sense of like I didn't have a program like this that I could like that I knew about that I could really learn these amazing skills in science. And I didn't really get to learn about how much I love science until I went to college. So I was really excited to kind of provide that opportunity and that insight for girls in high school, and just be a mentor to them just so they could learn maybe earlier in life, like how awesome science can be, and how fun it can be. So
That's wonderful. It just, it's um, great to see so many wonderful women in STEM, you know, really be excited to encourage, the future of women in STEM. Um, and I mean, it's very clear that you and Alba just, you know, not only enjoyed working together, but really put together solid research, as shown in not only in the presentation, but in the article itself. Um, So my last question is, um, Alba, let's say you have a friend or classmate or peer who's interested in joining magic, but they're just not quite sure. They're maybe just a little intimidated, or they're, not quite sure if they're interested enough to join. What is something that you would tell them about your experience to encourage them?
I would tell them that, well, personally for me, like my experience, like not only
Mhm.
did it help me like learn about like focus lavaging and like skin, like Brazilian skin disease, but it also like helped me learn more about like myself in terms of like my worth ethic, like how like it showed that I can like write my own article, like how I can like research like different topics that like I like thought were like way too confusing when I started, like all the big terminology. I did not know what any of that meant when I first started, but I think like because it like being with magic not only like taught me like what I like went into, because I thought like, oh, like I'll just learn about like this part of science that I'm really interested in, like being a doctor and like different like types of diseases, but it also just like taught me more about myself. So I feel like for anyone, like even if you're like skeptical of like, oh, I don't know if I want to be like in the STEM fields in the future, or like I don't know like if like I want my project to like be something fully like STEM related. Because also one of the girls that I saw their presentation, it wasn't only on STEM. Like if someone's like skeptical because they don't know if they like love STEM, then like they can also incorporate like other parts. Like they can incorporate the humanities, they can incorporate like their other interests into their project. And it'll also like teach them like parts they probably didn't know about themselves.
Mhm.
So I feel like it would not only be like a learning experience like in terms of like researching, but it also like teaches you like about like yourself in terms of like how you work and like what you can do.
Mhm. Wonderful. That's the main goal of magic, is for young women to learn more about themselves and, an area of interest in STEM, or tying STEM into something that they're already interested in. So that sounds like a gold star review, and we really appreciate it. Again, you both should just be so, so proud of yourselves for an amazing magic session. Wonderful presentation. And thank you for taking the time with me to chat about your experience.
Thank you.
Thank you.